Hey there guys, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Transmitter Brewing. They're a small batch brewery out of Long Island City, and they're making yeast slash bacteria centric beers, mostly Saisons slash farmhouse beers, and awesome stuff. Always interested to drink local and show you guys some breweries. And this one is called H1. They named their beers H1, S1. It's their system. If it's confusing for some people, that's their issue. But awesome brewery. I visited. It's really small brewery. I believe they're only making 6 barrels at once, so that's why I guess they have the H1 and H2 for each batch. They're making very small batch beers. And so this is a Saison, fermented in white wine barrels, or what does it say? It says, yes, simply wine barrels, so you don't know, or we don't know, with Zinfandel grapes, so 7.1%, awesome stuff. Just poured myself a little bit and then had some audio issues, so pouring it out again. So let's review this. The beer comes out in a gorgeous color. Wow, look at that. It is, I just reviewed Hill Farmstead's Convivial Soiree, which has hibiscus in it, and that was a gorgeous pink color. This is even more intense than that. This is almost magenta. It's really red, but also pink. So it's a dark reddish pink. Yeah, there you go. Awesome carbonation. See, you can see coming up. So it's a bottle conditioned beer, and I guess you can hopefully see some as it pours out. Really nice color, and then but look at that color. Jeez, I don't know which angle is best for you guys, but that is a awesome color. It is, yeah, just a really beautiful. It doesn't even look like beer. It looks like what does that look like? Looks like cherry juice or something. I don't know. It's really dark reddish pink. Let's get the aroma. Wow, that's awesome. Let me put this cap on for a second. So the beer offers really aggressive kind of floral note. Convivial Soiree had hibiscus in it, but this doesn't, and somehow this is very floral. Yeah, fruity floral, almost as if it was the Convivial with hibiscus and lemon. This beer instead has grapes, but it is fruity in the sense of berries, grapes, white wine, but a bright kind of floral note. Yeah, maybe something like lavender, just really spring-like, awesome for the spring weather as well. A touch of funk in there, a little bit of white bready kind of malt. Cheers. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's killer, guys. Yeah, that's sweet. Wow, what a complex beer. A lot to say, Okay, first thing I noticed is that this beer has a really tiny bubble carbonation, but also a lot of carbonation. Some people might think it's a little bit too much, but to me it drinks a little bit like champagne. Really up front, it's almost like creaminess, but also just like a lot of prickly kind of carbonation. But behind that is a nice mouthfeel, but it's still a very bright and drinkable beer. Up front, I noticed that there's almost like a minerality or something. Something familiar with Hill Farmstead a little bit. It's slightly funky, it's slightly hay-like, but yeah, minerality, a little bit of earthiness. The yeast is definitely coming through. The Brett is coming through. A Brett earthiness. But then up front, I'm also getting this kind of bright floral note. Berries, wow, berries. I would imagine this beer had something like a light use of raspberries or something like that. But instead, it's Zinfandel grapes, so I could see the grapes coming through. A white wine kind of flavor, grapes coming through. Even the bitterness, maybe even of grapes from the skin. But then again, that could be the Brett, that could be the hops. So it's a complex beer where we're trying to figure out where each part is coming from. Upfront medium mouthfeel, but then falls away pretty quickly. That's fine for this kind of style of beer. The wonderful, it's a kind of crisp kind of Saison with wonderful complexities on the back end. You get the essence of fruit with the flavor, but you're not getting any sweetness. On the back end, the beer flies away really wonderfully. You're left with more kind of earthy, minerally kind of flavor. But then, yeah, maybe like a tannic oak. Yeah, because they had that on the label as a flavor profile. And yeah, nice and dry, and maybe some oak flavor coming through. Wow. Almost as if there was hibiscus in here. Yeah, it's a nice pop of floral, berry flavor. The Brett earthiness, minerality, slight funkiness, wonderful carbonation, real dry on the back end. Lingers a little bit of almost like a oak or something, a bitterness or something there that's sort of like an IPA. IPA offers bitterness that sort of makes you want to drink more. This has something different. It's, again, something like Brett/a tannic oak that's really leaves a lingering slight flavor that really wants you to go back into the beer. What do they say about this beer? Secondary fermentation, they added the grapes, and then the grapes add a complex fruitiness with a subtle balance of oak and tannic structure. This beer is dry with profound underlying fruitiness. So yeah, love the tasting notes on this. Very much on point with what I was thinking, sort of, and it sort of guides you on your tasting notes, and really it's wonderful. Wow, this is a great beer. Killer beer. This is up there with some of the Hill Farmstead beers. I just love the complexity. The Brett and the yeast that they're using really comes through, but it is a really well-constructed beer, wonderfully complex. The barrel is really well used. The fruits are very well used. The grapes in here are fantastic. Wonderful carbonation. This is one of the most underrated breweries in New York. Again, as I said, up there with Hill Farmstead Saisons. This for me is better than Convivial Soiree, which gets a 96 actually, and I didn't give it a 96. I'm gonna stop talking, give this a rating. This beer, for me, great stuff, wow. 90, yeah. I'm leaning between a 95 and 96. It's really delicious beer. 96. I love me some Saisons and really interesting ones with some wild yeast, adjunct to a barrel character, all that fun stuff elevates the Saison just a little bit, and it's absolutely amazing stuff. 96, highly recommended. If you guys are a New Yorker or from New York City and have not been to Transmitter Brewing or bought any of their beers, for shame, you should definitely try some. Highly recommended. Until next time, guys, cheers. Again, I'm saying Hill Farmstead quality. This is absolutely amazing. Until next time, guys, later.